Aloha Big Wave Trading family. I really hope that everyone read my new positions article this weekend along with the 2 new long positions. If you haven't, please go back and read that. I have stated over and over and over that we are beyond overbought, beyond overstretched, not quite parabolic, but getting very short-term climatic overall on the indexes. Today's intraday reversal off the highs following the first 30 minutes of the day, I was shocked. I was like, holy moly, we're actually going to build on these gains, which would ensure that we would go parabolic. But instead, by the close, stocks reverse off their highs, sold off all day long, closed near the lows. As you see on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, volume was very large. On the S&P 500, volume was very heavy. And on the NASDAQ, volume was quite strong. The Russell 2000, same similar situation, negative price decline. Now, all indexes are still in nice, strong uptrends. And let's say, though, that they just do a normal pullback to the recent pivot point breakout area where they then hit new all-time highs this year. That's going to coincide with the 50-day moving average. We're still looking at anywhere from a 3 to 5% pullback in all of these indices. So everyone needs to be prepared for further short-term possible declines, especially with all the bullish sentiment that's been happening lately and all the climatic type moves. I had a lot of stocks do intraday reversals off their highs today on big volume. I will be moving stops up on everything. I flagged a lot for stop reviews. If your stock is selling off on heavier volume, especially if it's losing like green bop in my scans charts, if you look at charts that way, you need to start moving up your stops, splitting them up, moving them up. Logical support, rational support levels, that's what I will be doing. No way I can go over all those. So let's quickly go over the signals. I only have one long ad signal in ALRM. This stock is a little extended from the lows, but it's not extended from either its 5, 10, or 20-day moving average. The bullish candle over candle on heavier volume with BOP Max Green is a good ad signal for me. I don't have the account capital. The most I can put in any of these long positions is right around 0.5 to 0.75% per each of these 5 signals I'm about to go over. But ALRM, it should be 1% of your account capital. Limit order, high day, 37.06. Your one and only cut loss level right there. Splitting hairs at 35.79. You could also use these levels right here, but it's splitting hairs to that ultimate low. Either way, here, or here works with me. If you get long 37.06, this stock bucked the trend today. I really like the way it looks. Already initiated the long position back here. We'll see how that ad signal works. Either way, it's only a couple grand. I'm still maxed out despite the stops that triggered today. Despite the end of day sell signals, I barely raised any capital today. Very strong market above all my stops. Now, the real signals are the hedge signals. EDZ was in my ETF scan. It was also confirmed in my price volume BOP surge scan. These hedge signals are always the same. This is all 4. TEX, SQQQ, MIDZ. You see the exact same pattern. It's the exact same pattern we keep buying every time we see it. Now, they haven't been working lately, and it rolls over and gives us tiny, tiny, tiny losses. But one day, it's going to work, and you're going to get big gains. And as long as they're hedges, we only take profits whenever we get those RSI 14 overbought signals. When they no longer become hedges and are real live short signals, then we start trimming and trailing on the way up as the stock ETF moves higher. But until it does that, there's only one limit, one stop on all these. For SQQQ, want to get long at 1855, cut the loss if it trades below 1759 at 1758, 1% of my capital. TEX, 616 is the limit order, trades below 586 or 587. I'm out. It hits 586. Now remember, I do the 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%, 50% sells on the way down until I have none, as long as these are working as hedges. But on an end of day basis, moves below 587, closes below 587, it will be a full sell signal. MIDZ, limit order, 1250, one and only cut loss level, right below the low day. Hits 1199. I will be out of MIDZ, or you should be fully out. I'll be doing that 50% partialing out. And then EDZ is the only 2% signal. Limit order 791. Final cut loss level moves below 762. That's when you should be out of your full position if you're using the website on an end of day basis with the stops. If you're doing it like me, 50% here, 50% there, because you don't know what the market's going to do. The market could easily continue to rally. This could just be another one-day blip, but I don't think so based on the volume. However, I thought that here, and we moved higher, but for that happening twice, I doubt it. Remember, it happened back here in August too. We at least went sideways, so at best, I think we could expect sideways action, at worst a downtrend. And if we go up from here in this reversal, I'll be shocked, but it won't surprise me. It's a pretty strong market, but still, this looks like the more highly probable outcome instead of this continuation from that kind of heavy volume reversal off the highs that we saw today. But either way, you should also keep in mind, seasonally, historically, this is a bad period for stock market returns. This week until about the first to second week of March, I'm not quite sure where it is, but I know it's through the entire month of February at the very least. I got to put up the calendar. What week are we in? This should be the second week of January. Third week of January. So from the third week of January until the end of February, seasonal patterns indicate a weak market. The only bullish sectors during this period of time are healthcare stocks, and I noticed that they did well today, and then materials. I don't know what materials are. Okay, XLH. Nope. Okay, forget it. We won't even try anymore. So just keep that in mind. Seasonally bearish period, big nasty reversal today. Only two sectors do really well during this time, so a lot of the odds are against you. And let's not forget all of that bullish sentiment, which is contrarian, that I talked about this weekend. So let's go over the sell signals. CDNA, it's a 50% sell signal. Whatever I have left, 50% gets moved up to this low a day, 582. So 581 is now where half of my remaining stops on CDNA is. But CDNA, that's a 50% sell signal with the close below the 50-day moving average on above average volume. IO is closing below its 20-day moving average on heavy volume and above average volume. I never got a position, but if I did, half of my stops go to this low here, probably have a quarter here, and then a final quarter here or here. Not quite sure because I'm not long. MRNS, speculative long, but it's been a long-term winner. Let me go ahead and bring up these stocks really quick. Stocks I'm long, MRNS. So you can see that it was a long signal way back there, still up over 100%. So even though it's rolling over and technically looks like it's only got two lower lows right now, but it looks like it's almost got three lower highs, it's still above this low right here. So at the very least, until it closes below here on heavier volume, it will not be a full sell signal, especially since it's still up 100% since the initiation. But whatever I have left, 50% goes to this low right here. And for now, my final stop is here. I think I'm going to keep it there. Doesn't look that good. GSM, 50% sell signal, closing below 50-day moving average on heavy volume. Pretty clear cut, moving half my stops up to that low. TAL, I'm already all out, but it's another 50% sell signal due to the heavy volume. Red bop below the 50-day moving average. Whatever you have, 50% needs to be moved up there. PLNT is closing below this low right here on red bop. It's got about average volume. That's no good, especially with it closing near at the low of the day. So PLNT is another 50% sell signal. And that's like 1, 2, 3, or 4 that it's had. 1, 2, 3, 4 that it's had since the start of the year. When will it be a 100% sell signal? Well, it's either got to crash through all these support levels on heavy volume or a confirmation close below the 50-day moving average on above average volume. OFIX, closing below the 50-day moving average and above average volume. I do not have a position. It gapped higher without me. Never got a fill. 50% sell signal. Whatever you have moves half of it up to today's low a day. HGV. I still have it, or did I get all? I think I've been completely knocked out of HGV this day right here. So if you still have some, half goes here, and I would put the final half right here. If it trades below this day right here, the low day, I would be completely out, as I am 100% sure I already am. BLD, closing below the 20-day moving average on above average volume. You move half your stops to this low right here, which is what I'm going to do. And then I have one stop here. I have one stop here, and then I'll put a final stop here. I'm not going to let it come back to this low right here for what I have left on BLD. NTNX, I do not have a position, but closing below the 20-day moving average on above average volume, 50% sell signal. You move half up to today's low a day. TREX, to be honest with you, 108.52 and then 108.01. I am moving all of my stops to just below 108.01. So if it moves below 108.01, I will be completely out of Trex. but you could do 50% here and then your final stop here. It's up to you. I still might do that, but I think I just want to get out if it doesn't hold this low right here. Well, I won't know until I actually stare at my stop orders, my position size, and know what my dollar loss amount will be if I either use 2 or 1 stop. The 100% sell signals, MTW, closing below the 50-day moving average on above average volume, and the signal dates low a day on above average volume with a close near the lows. It did that here, but it was only a 50% sell signal because it was holding above my final cut loss level. But this close is convincing below the 50-day moving average. BOP is even going in the wrong direction. So it is a 100% full sell signal. I still have shares. My final stop is now this low right here on MTW. In TES, I moved all of my stops to just below the 111 low a day, so intraday I was completely knocked out of it, but it's a confirmation close below the 50-day moving average. That's a 100% sell signal. If you're still long, it goes to 1 cent below today's low a day. LIVE, I still have a position. I had half my stops below this low. I had another half here, and then a final 25% here. So 50% here, 25% there, 25% there. I am now moving the half that's remaining to just below 1431. So it hits 1430, I'll be out. CIFS got clipped out a half intraday today. My final stop is right here below this low right here. That is being eliminated, and the entire stop gets moved below today's low a day because it lost the first support level on above average volume and lost its green BOP. That's an automatic 100% sell stop rise. So 3741 triggers, I'll be all out of CIFS, and that's it. So there's no more full sell signals. Okay, so not too bad, not too many full sell signals, but there's a lot of this action out there. Look at BA. Look at APPS, look at NVCR, long positions that I'm holding that made big reversals on heavier volume. I'm going to be moving partial stops up to these low a days here. WTTR, since I locked in 20% at the morning, moving up partial stop to right there. I suggest everyone do the same. Better safe than sorry here as we enter a seasonally weak period for stocks. Like I said, doesn't mean we're done. I doubt that we're done. We'll probably find support and rally higher. But we've got some pretty good gains and a lot of gains in the short term. Might as well keep them and not lose them. All right, I'll see you in the chat room on Wednesday. Aloha.